Children, good morning. How are you all today? Are you all doing well? Stay home, stay safe. Children, in the previous class, we tried to understand about the human and environment, the relation between the human beings and the environment, and how the population grew from the past few decades, past few centuries. We tried to understand. So, as a result of this increase in the population, what has taken place was a thrust and pressure on the resources available on the earth. So that has led to the pollution of most of the resources available in the available on the earth. Modern industries and transport system use immense amount of energy, which is derived basically from the coal and petroleum. These are the two important resources which we call them as the fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, fossil. The examples of fossil fuels are coal and petroleum. These are the two important fossil fuels, and the transport system and industries require these resources abundantly, large usage. So they remain in the forest buried underground for lakhs of years ago, and now we have been using them. The burning of fossil fuels release a kind of chemical called as carbon dioxide and other chemical gases, and abundant large quantities of this carbon dioxide gets joined into the atmosphere. So the chemical gases like nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and volatile organic compounds and heavy metals also gets released into the atmosphere because of burning coal and petroleum. And they also release sulfuric, carbonic and nitric acids into the air, which cause what are called as acid rains. Have you ever experienced this one? Color. Now we experience a freshwater rainfall, but in the industrial areas we also experience acidic rain, which is very dangerous. These acid rains is caused by the mingling of the acidic particles of the atmosphere with the rain by increasing the acid content, acid concentrate of the rainwater content in the rainwater, due to which the rainwater gets acidic, and that rainfall is called as acid rain. And even the sheets and even the ground gets completely polluted with the acidic rain. In addition to the burning of fossil fuels, modern industries release enormous amounts of waste materials in the form of solid, liquid and gases, contaminating the air, water and whatever, like water, river and the groundwater, wells, soil. These all things gets contaminated because of the release of the large amounts of the wastage released by these industries. The cumulative impact of such a pollution is gradually poisoning our own environment. We have been polluting our own environment gradually. The one important impact is the change in worldwide climate, also known as the global warming. So I must tell you here the issue of Delhi, why Delhi is facing the pollution problem, isn't it? The oxygen level is completely decreased, fresh air is completely decreased in Delhi, due to which the face mask is made compulsory for them and air filters are made compulsory for them. So this is all because of the pollution of air. Let us not imagine the same kind of situation all over the world. If that happens, then you need to purchase oxygen. Now it is available freely, but you have to purchase oxygen. If that happens, the living will become more complicated. And we shall read about this global warming in 9th class biological science, in detail, as well as in the science textbook of class 10th also you shall learn about the global warming, how the globe is getting warm. We shall read them in detail. I think you know the environmental crisis, what's happening. In order to decrease this carbon emissions into the atmosphere, there was a protocol called as the Kyoto Protocol. In Japan, all the world countries have signed to decrease the carbon emissions in the atmosphere. But whether they have reached, whether they had set their goal to decrease, even though they have set their goal to decrease the carbon emissions, but none of the countries following them, and they were arguing that the developed countries have already spoiled the environment and burnt the fossil fuels and got developed. And now if they ask the underdeveloping countries not to burn the fossil fuels, then what is the alternate resource available? So there was an argument between the developed and underdeveloping countries even on the Kyoto Protocol. But they have imagined that that will be achieved by 2008-2012. Far away, we are in 2020, but Kyoto Protocol is not at all reached. Still, the environment is getting polluted with the carbon emissions. And because of this, it has led to another important crisis, that is the depletion in the resources. Depletion in the sense, decrease in the resources. Whatever resources are available on the earth so far, they started getting decreased because of this pollution. Now see, industrialization, rapid growth of population and urbanization all have led to the unprecedented exploitation of natural resources like minerals, forests, soil, water and air. These all unprecedented usage has become. Because of the increasing population, agriculture has to be expanded. Their living standard, as they have expanded, they started clearing the forests. So these unchecked growth of population has led to the depletion of the natural resources, and this has resulted in rapid deforestation and decline of the reserves of minerals, oil and underground water also. There is a decrease in the underground water today. Most of the agricultural fields are exploiting the underground water through the bore wells, due to which the underground water level has got decreased. Many scientists have argued today that the present way of life is not sustainable life, and if we use such large quantities of the resources, natural resources, nothing will be left for the future generations. For your children and grandchildren, nothing will be left over if you use the groundwater, if you use the soil and forest now itself. That's the reason the government of Telangana had started Haritaharam in order to increase the forest coverage, due to which the environmental repair can be done. So far what we have did was deforestation, cutting down of the forest and decreasing the forest coverage area. But now with an intention to increase the forest coverage area, so that you can little improve the environment also. Further, it also helps in the good agricultural yield, and which also increases the groundwater level. All the living things on the earth are interdependent, as you have already known that one, they are interrelated. I think biosphere introduction only I told you that one species extinction will affect the unchecked growth of the another species which is dependent upon it. So even the food chain or anything else, all are interdependent. But for their enjoyment and development, human beings have been destroying the nature. The commercial activities carried out by the human beings have affected every life on the earth and every matter on the earth. Whether it is liquid, whether it is gases, whether it is solids, everything got affected because of the human beings' nature. If this continues like this, then it is dangerous not only to animals but also to the human beings themselves, and already we have been experiencing that one. What happened in Kerala, you know it very well. Unprecedented rainfall and floods have completely uprooted Kerala. So such kind of landslides, hill slides take place because of the environmental disturbance. You must understand this one and try to protect the environment. And do you know, children, approximately 13 to 15 tons of effluents gets released into the Kolleru lake from the nearby towns and cities, villages, due to which Kolleru lake got polluted. And to this Kolleru lake, the birds from the other countries used to migrate. But now Kolleru lake is on the edge of extinction. One study found that the radiation released by the cell phone towers affect the life of the honey bees even, and that's the reason why honey bees are not that frequently seen as it is seen some 10 years, 20 years ago. It is not that frequently seen now. So honey bees are required for the pollination as well as for the biodiversity and for the agricultural products, but honey bees are getting extincted because of the radiation released by the cell phone towers. So please remember these all, and thank you.